Keeping your own garden can take some work, but I reckon it's worth it. It's a huge reward being able to use your own veggies in your cooking. I've come out to my garden to grab some spinach for my Borani salad, and I've noticed that some caterpillars and butterflies have been having a good old munch. So I've got some Apprentice here, which is a natural and organic product that comes from a plant that has qualities to control insect pests. I'm just going to dust over it like this. Now if you're doing a larger area, you'll want to use a natural spray like pyrethrum, but for the small area, Apprentice will work. Baby, I love it. Now it's time to go a little bit Middle Eastern with some tandoori lamb, a Borani salad and some baba ganoush sauce. So I'm going to start with the marinade first, where I've got an onion head roughly chopped. I'm going to chuck it into a mortar and pestle. We're going to bash it up. We've got some garlic going in here. It's nice and crushed. And let's just smash this up to a paste. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can do it in a whiz or in a blender, but make sure that you've got a large quantity to do it. Excellent, so now it's a fine paste. I'm just going to take that out. And I'm just going to put some onion, garlic into a shallow dish. Excellent. Now for our fresh and fruity light Greek yogurt. Let's burn some of this on. Now I've got my spices here, garam masala, we've got some cumin, paprika, we got some ground coriander and some chilies. I'm going to give that a good stir. So you want to give it a good mix, stir it all up, so that you get an even, consistent flavour throughout the whole meat. Okay, so I'm going to season it. Got salt, sea salt. Now we're going to add the lamb fillets into the marinade. Just make sure you put it over a lot of the marinade so it's covered. And then spoon it on top. And bury the lamb in the marinade. So all the flavours get infused into the meat for when we cook it. There we go. It's looking good. Now this is going to be covered and then we'll put it into the fridge for at least 2 hours. I'm going to get my eggplants ready for the baba ganoush. So I'm going to just stab it a few times, watch your fingers with a fork. And I've got the oven preheating to 180 degrees. Give it a good stab. I'm just going to roast them off in an oiled oven dish. So while my eggplants are roasting, I'm going to start my Borani salad. So I've got some chickpeas here. I'm just going to place them into a bowl. Some red onion, finely sliced. So now I'm onto the dressing. You'll notice I use the light Greek yogurt in the marinade. I'm also going to use it in the dressing as well, which makes it quite versatile. Also, it gets used a lot in Middle Eastern dishes. I'm going to pour an amount into here. All estimation. Now if you make more than what you need, you can always put it into an airtight container and store it in your fridge. Just going to pour some macadamia nut oil in. I like the nutty flavour, it goes well with the chickpeas. I'm going to grate some lemon zest. I like the real fresh flavours that this salad has. Full of good nutrients, full of goodness. Excellent. Now I'm also going to cut the lemon in half and squeeze it. And some fresh mint leaves that I'm just going to finely slice up. So the fresh mint leaves are in. I'm going to add some cumin powder, a little bit of seasoning, and now I'm just going to whisk that up. Double dip. Now that tastes good. Now I'm just going to leave this for the flavours to infuse, and I don't want to add my spinach too soon so it gets all soggy, so I'm just going to leave those. I'm going to check on my eggplants for the baba ganoush. There we go, eggplant looks nice and cooked and roasted off. Now I've got a bowl of water because I'm just going to peel it, and to peel it I need it to be cold so I can actually handle it. So I've sliced my eggplant, now I'm just going to dice it up and we're going to put it into the hand whiz. Alright, now the good thing about this Breville hand whiz is it comes with a little container like this and you can make dips, sauces in small amounts. So we've got tahini paste here, which is sesame seeds grounded right up. Gives it a great nutty, seedy flavour. Squeeze lemon juice into it. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of some whole grain mustard in. A little bit of macadamia nut oil, just a little. Now I'm going to add the light Greek style yoghurt, which like I said is super versatile, so it's going to go in the sauce as well. And it makes it nice and thick and creamy, so we're going to add that to it. Bit of seasoning. Now we're going to whiz that up. Excellent. Look at that, it looks super creamy. Plus you can smell the sesame coming through, the eggplant, and now I'm going to have a taste. That tastes perfect. Now we're going to cook the lamb, finish our salad and plate up. Our lamb's been marinating and it looks really good, so I'm just going to take off the marinades because we don't want it to burn while it's cooking. I've got a pan on at medium to high heat. I'll wipe this off. And the other side. So I'm just going to pan fry the fillets off on each side. It's really important to rest your meat because you don't want the juices and the flavours to run out of it when you cut into it. They're looking good, I'm just going to flip them over. Now a few minutes on that side, they don't take long at all. So while that's happening, we'll mix up the salad. So we've got our chickpeas and our red onion. We've got our dressing and our spinach. I'm going to pour the spinach in. The dressing can go in. And give it a good mix up. Looks good. So that's ready to go. These are ready to come off the pan and now you've just got to rest them. Now rest it for about 3 to 4 minutes. If you want and it's not in a warm place, you can just cover it with some tin foil. Right, let's plate up while that's resting. And there you have a beautiful Middle Eastern dish with the tandoori lamb fillet, Borani salad and baba ganache dip. After the break, I'll catch up with Cherry for some nutrition advice and show you my Mexican chick wrap stack recipe that always goes down a treat. It's good to know what you're putting into your body and to know what options you have. So I'm off to catch up with Cherry from the Sanitary and Nutrition Service, who has a wealth of information and healthy tips.
So Kelly, your next dish uses spinach wraps.
Yep.
Another option is to add in actual spinach into the building of the dish, so that you're adding more nutrients and iron and B vitamin and antioxidants.
Yeah, well I'm using capsicums as well, which I know are full of vitamin C, which will help absorb the iron.
It definitely does. And this dish is great because it uses up heaps of leftovers from your fridge.
I hate wastage. I hate wasting food.
Me too. And it's also great because you can add in heaps of different things like beans and lentils into the dish, which means that you're introducing them to the family without actually standing there and saying, these are beans.
Yeah, well, it's kind of expected in a Mexican style dish when you see beans in Mexican. So yeah, it is a good way to introduce it to people.
For sure, you can add them into heaps of different dishes, but it's just knowing where you can.
It's also cost effective as well.
Exactly, and the nutrients in there as well, extra fibre, extra protein. It's a great dish.
Yummy.
Baby, I love it.
I'm going to show you a dish that's quick and easy, a Mexican chicken wrap stack. First we're going to start off with our salsa. Just throw all your ingredients into a bowl. Some green capsicums, balsamic vinegar, Dijon mustard, coriander, lemon zest, some chili, olive oil, and give it a mix. A good thing about the salsa is you can make it well in advance and keep it in the fridge. Now for the filling. Onions, some crushed New Zealand garlic. Now you just want to lightly heat the onions so that they become translucent. You don't want to brown them. Now for the tomatoes. Whole peeled tomatoes. And squish them up. Now chickpeas. Here we go. And some lentils. Perfect. And mix that all up. I'm just going to season. Now you're going to bring this to the boil, and then it's time to stack. All right, now we're going to spray our tray with some avocado oil so it doesn't stick. Place in one of the wraps. So I'm going to spoon in half of the tomato mixture. Spoon it all in. So half of the mixture now, half of the mixture later. Excellent. Now the chicken, just roughly throw it around. Great way to use leftover chicken. And this stack. Now we've got some salsa. The flavours would have all infused by now, so let's just spoon that over. Now for our country goodness cottage cheese. And spoon that over. And spoon it around. For a healthier option, you'll be using cottage cheese instead of grated cheese all the way through it. It's also another source of protein. And then repeat the process. On with the wrap. And just pour in the rest of this. So that's the whole other half. Spread it around. Excellent. The rest of the chicken. Season, salsa, excellent. And last bit of cottage cheese. There we go. Now for the last wrap on the top. And then your mainland Egmont cheese. This cheese is great for cooking as it melts really well and you won't be left with that greasy film on top. Perfect, now ready for the oven. You want it to go into an oven at 180 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. My Mexican chicken wrap stack is golden brown and now I'm just going to garnish it with some parsley. A little bit of sprinkle. I'm just going to cut myself a small piece. Make sure you've cut all the way through before you go and try and pull it out. And my slice. These are handy things when you've got something like this. Perfect, a good wholesome meal. For the recipes featured on tonight's show and the chance to win fabulous prizes, see the Savour section inside this week's Herald on Sunday. Next week, I'll show you a delicious twist on a hearty Kiwi lamb dish and find out all the tricks and tips for making our favourite Kiwi dessert, the pav.